August 5 marked a turning point in the nation's political landscape as a mass uprising led to the downfall of Sheikh Hasina's Awami League government. On that day, Sheikh Mujib's historic house at Dhanmondi 32 was attacked, vandalized, and set on fire by angry mobs. 6 months later, the tension reignited, leading to the final demolition of the house in a series of dramatic events over 2 days, beginning on Wednesday evening and continuing on Thursday morning. Here is a detailed timeline of what transpired. Announcement of Hasina's live speech. The tension began when the Chhatra League, the banned student wing of Hasina's Awami League, posted on Facebook that a speech by the ousted Prime Minister would be broadcast at 9 p.m. on Wednesday. The announcement spread like wildfire across social media, sparking unrest. Throughout the afternoon, Sharif Osman Hadi, convener of Inqilab Moncho and a member of the Jatiyo Nagorik Committee, issued multiple posts warning that Dhanmondi 32 would be demolished. Hasnat Abdullah, convener of the anti-discrimination student movement, posted a message on Facebook, "Tonight, Wednesday, Bangladesh will be freed from the shrine of fascism." Bulldozer procession. In response to the broadcast announcement, activists, students, and online protesters began organizing a bulldozer march through social media. A large gathering was planned at Shahbag, where demonstrators would begin a march toward Dhanmondi 32, symbolically carrying out the bulldozing of what they viewed as the remnants of fascism. Vandalism at Dhanmondi 32. Before the clock struck 8 p.m. on Wednesday, a sea of protesters flooded the streets surrounding Dhanmondi 32. They arrived from various parts of the city, driven by rage and a sense of rebellion. Within moments, the protest turned violent. The entrance to Sheikh Mujib's house was broken, and the protesters began vandalizing not only the house but also the mural of Sheikh Mujibur in front of it. The protest had crossed from a symbolic demonstration. Fire. The situation spiraled further out of control when a fire started on the second floor of the house at Dhanmondi 32. The flames intensified as the clock ticked toward 9 p.m. Protesters, undeterred by the blaze, continued breaking through the boundary walls with sticks and spades. A military team arrived at the scene, but the chanting protesters forced them to retreat. Call for demolition. Protesters called the complete bulldozing of the house at Dhanmondi 32. Armed with whatever tools they could find, they began demolishing parts of the house. Meanwhile, near Dhanmondi Lake, a documentary chronicling the July mass uprising was projected onto a screen for the public to witness. A second blaze. While chaos engulfed Dhanmondi 32, Sheikh Hasina's residence, Sudha Sadan, located in Dhanmondi 5, was set afire. The flames quickly engulfed the building. By 11:30 p.m. on Wednesday, the fire had spread significantly, but the fire service could not intervene, citing security concerns. The fire raged unchecked, adding a dramatic and destructive element to an already explosive night. The midnight demolition. As the clock neared midnight on Wednesday, the protesters escalated their actions further. A crane was brought to the scene, soon followed by an excavator. The mechanical destruction of Dhanmondi 32 had begun. By 2 a.m. on Thursday, a significant portion of the house had been torn down, with the heavy machinery continuing its work into the early hours of the morning. The night was punctuated by anti-authoritarian, anti-Mujibism, and anti-Awami League slogans as the house fell to pieces under the weight of the machinery. Demolition continues. As the sun rose on Thursday, a crowd gathered at Dhanmondi 32 to witness the aftermath. Many expressed joy at the sight of the nearly demolished house, which stood as a remnant of a political era they wished to see erased. Heavy machinery continued its work throughout the morning, reducing more of the building to rubble. By 11 a.m., the house was largely destroyed. Another building demolished. The destruction was not confined to that house. At 10 a.m. on Thursday, the six-story building adjacent to the northern side of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's house also began to crumble. People swarmed the building, removing books, steel, wood, and other material from inside, while the sound of hammers echoed through the air. Fire still burns. Meanwhile, the fire at Shudha Sadon continued to rage. Before noon, the first floor of the building was still alight. Charred furniture lay scattered outside, and signs of heavy vandalism were evident throughout the structure from the ground floor to the fourth. The air was thick with the smell of smoke, and a crowd of onlookers gathered to witness the smoldering ruins. What started with a speech announcement escalated into the widespread protests, fires, and the ultimate demolition of Bangabandhu's house.